When we talk about identity today, we often focus on labels: male and female, masculine and feminine, heterosexual and homosexual. But many ancient philosophical and spiritual traditions suggest something different, something deeper. They propose that beneath biology, culture, and social roles, there are two fundamental energies at play in all of existence: masculine and feminine energy, not as genders, not as sexual orientations, but as archetypal forces that shape how life moves, creates, and relates. From this perspective, there is no male or female at the level of essence. There is no straight or gay at the level of being. There is only the dynamic interplay of masculine and feminine energy. Polarity, not opposition. One of the clearest expressions of this idea comes from Taoism through the concept of yin and yang. Yin and yang are not opposites in conflict. They are complementary forces in constant relationship. Traditionally, yang, often described as masculine, represents action, structure, clarity, and outward movement. Yin, often described as feminine, represents receptivity, intuition, depth, and inward awareness. Importantly, Taoist philosophy teaches that each contains the seed of the other. Balance, not dominance, is the goal. Health, wisdom, and harmony arise when these energies are integrated, not polarized. Consciousness and creation. A similar understanding appears in Vedic and Hindu philosophy through the archetypes of Shiva and Shakti. Shiva represents pure consciousness, stillness, awareness, the witness. Shakti represents energy, movement, creativity, the force that brings life into form. One without the other is incomplete. Without Shakti, consciousness has no expression. Without Shiva, energy has no direction. This framework suggests that creation itself is born from the union of masculine and feminine principles, not from separation. The inner world. In modern psychology, Carl Jung explored this same dynamic within the human psyche. He proposed that every person carries both: an anima, the inner feminine, and an animus, the inner masculine. Jung believed that psychological suffering often comes from identifying too strongly with one and rejecting the other. Wholeness, what he called individuation, comes from integrating both energies consciously. In other words, maturity is not about performing a role, but about becoming internally balanced, moving beyond labels. From a more transcendental perspective, many spiritual traditions suggest that identity categories are useful at the surface, but limited at the level of essence. At a deeper level, the masculine can be understood as awareness, structure, the container. The feminine as experience, flow, and relationship. Everyone carries both. And life invites us, again and again, to ask, am I able to act and to receive, to lead and to listen, to create structure and to surrender to flow? When we frame identity this way, the question shifts from who am I supposed to be to how do I bring these energies into balance within myself? Seen through this lens, masculinity and femininity are not boxes we are confined to. They are currents we learn to navigate. And when they move together, consciously, respectfully, they become a source of creativity, compassion, and wholeness.